welcome back to my channel and welcome to WIP Wednesday. Today I am going to be coloring in Hanna Karlzon's Daydreams using my Caran d'Ache Supra colors. So I got these not too long ago and I need to keep playing around with them so I can test them and also put them in the watercolor battles. So I thought I would kill two birds with one stone and get a Hanna Karlzon page done and play with these. Now, I'm not liking how these are reacting on this paper. It's very splotchy and it's kind of killing the colors, and these are very rich, vibrant colors. See right here? Gorgeous colors. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes though. But I figured I would just keep working on these mushrooms. I was initially going to record this. But yeah, I'm a little salty because the last color along I filmed, I did a full-length color along using the Brunswick Expressions watercolor. The reason I emphasize the word expressions is because they have different lines of watercolor pencils. And I had done a full-length color along in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and my camera deleted a full hour of footage. And I know, like, some people are like, oh, just an hour, but how I was working that color along is because it was a really repetitive page. We'd work on one part together and then I'd pause and do the rest on my own, so you weren't watching me recolor the same flower. But I spent like 8 hours coloring that darn thing. So yeah, an hour was actually quite a bit of footage to lose. So I was just like, so yeah, I'm a little cranky about that. And the, full-length color alongs, as I have said before, are incredibly hard to film because they take a ton of time. Then you got to edit them down or, put them in parts. But either way, I mean, they're like hours. I spent like 4 days on that project. 8 hours of coloring, a couple hours editing, only to realize I was missing a whole hour's worth of stuff. So yeah, I might just stick to my shorter tutorials and call it a day at this point, I'm thinking. Because yeah, it's just too much work. And no, they don't get a ton of views, so you're just like, oh, is it worth it? And I know some of you do watch them, but just, yeah, time-wise, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So I was in a bad mood last week, into last week, just because of all that work that went, well, down the drain. But yeah, last week was crazy anyways. So as you guys know, my son is in Taekwondo, and we went to his usual Wednesday class, and we found out that one, he can test for his next belt in a couple weeks, so he was really excited about that. And two, he qualified for their advanced sparring class. Now, advanced sparring, he loves sparring. Sparring is something you do a lot in tournaments. So, the advanced sparring class is basically the hardcore sparring. Like, they don't just spar for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes like they do on their curriculum classes. Like, it is 2 to 3 hours, depending on the week, of just straight sparring. So you are getting like tons of sparring practice, and aka getting your butt kicked or kicking someone's bum for 2 to 3 hours. So they invited him to join the advanced sparring class because they do want him on the tournament team. So that's why they invited him. It's not free. I have to pay for it. Nothing in life is for free. But he really wanted to do it. And I was like, okay, but that's every Friday. Like, your Friday evenings are shot now, man. And 2 to 3 hours long. Like, it's a long class. And the cost of the class is more than his tuition now. So I was like, you better really, really want this. So now he's going Monday, Wednesday, Fridays to Taekwondo. My daughter still has her gymnastics on Tuesday evenings. So, oh my gosh. And my son was doing baseball lessons Thursday evenings. However, we had a discussion Because, he's just not practicing baseball, like I've noticed. And he's not improving with all the private lessons, but it's not the coach's fault. My son doesn't go out there and practice pitching in between lessons. He doesn't even practice hitting. I mean, half that summer with the batting cage up, he didn't go out there unless a friend did. So I just said, hey, buddy, do you even want to do baseball anymore? Like, because maybe we've been pushing him into baseball, like kind of pressuring him. But I've just noticed he doesn't seem in it. But he was like so excited for Taekwondo sparring, like he was going around the house practicing stuff. Whereas for baseball, I just don't see that spark anymore. So I asked him, I was like, I won't be mad. I mean, inside I'll be upset only because of the time and money we've invested. But he's 13. He's got to pick a sport that he wants to focus on and just go hardcore for that. And he said, okay, well, if you want me to be honest, yeah, I don't want to do baseball anymore. So I was a little bummed. I didn't tell him or show him that I was bummed, but I was just like, dang it. Because we just bought all that stuff for his birthday and Christmas, including the bat he had always wanted. It's like a $400 bat. And so I said, okay, I'll make you a deal. If Taekwondo is your sport, can I sell all the equipment? I can't return it. It's too late to return. But can I sell the equipment at least? And so, like, sell it where I can, and then use that money to get him a training dummy for Taekwondo. So basically, it'll go in our gym downstairs that we really need to work on finishing. And he can practice his sparring, his kicking combos, and all that against the dummy. And we're keeping the batting cage because my daughter's still in softball and she likes softball. So batting cage is staying. Plus, my husband and I like to go out there and just hit balls, relieve some parental aggression. So that thing's never going away is basically where I'm getting at with that. But yeah, so he has picked Taekwondo, so I actually had to call his coach and just say, hey, we're not doing lessons anymore. That way, because I told my son, I was like, there's no point in doing the lessons because there is a kid out there on the waiting list for this guy who is passionate about baseball. So let's get you out of there, and that opens a slot for some kid that's ready to go for it. So, I mean, that freed up Thursdays, but I'm still just like, oh my gosh, but now I have him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my daughter's gymnastics Thursdays, her softball practice Saturdays. It's like insane how my schedule is. Lost my train of thought. My daughter came in to ask for a snack. So I was like, what was I saying? But yeah, so I'm just kind of like a little overwhelmed. I'm trying to prime this Tombow. Doesn't want to prime. Oh, there we go. Phew. So yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, it's just basically, parenting. How come the parenting books or the, what to expect when you're expecting books don't say like, by the way, when they're older and in sports, you will have no life. Don't you wish they like someone just real dealed it for you? Just be like, oh, congrats, you're having a baby. Say goodbye to freedom. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids. I love that they're in sports. They need to be in sports. It's good for kids. But that's just 2 out of 3 kids in sports right now. My youngest hasn't started, and this summer she will be doing t-ball. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. That's gonna be quite. I don't even know what this summer is gonna be like. At this point, no idea. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, also this week, Akira the puppy is getting spayed. So we spayed Scout, even though they're both purebred, gorgeous Siberian Huskies, both of them. I never bought them with the intent of breeding them. Have like zero desire to deal with that. Our neighbors like bred their golden doodle, And if I even was contemplating breeding, which I never have, but if I was, after just listening to everything they had to do, oh heck no. But yeah, so Akira's getting her surgery. She had to be 5 months old. She turned 5 months on Saturday, and so I booked it as early as I could. So she'll go Thursday, and get that taken care of. And then they're actually going to have to, speaking of the puppies, they're both in here with me. Someone must have let them in. Hi puppies, hi puppies. Kind of like we did with Scout. So Huskies have a very high exercise and energy demand. It's just their breed. They're working dogs. They need to go, go, go. And when they have surgery, they want to keep going, and they can't. So that's like a big thing. So like we had to do this with Scout, and we'll have to do it with Akira, but basically the vet has to give us sedatives, and it just keeps her like chilled, so she can just kind of hang out in the kennel and sleep and just not be hyper to where she tears out her stitches. But yeah, we had to do that with Scout, and definitely gonna have to do it with Akira because she's even crazier. I thought Scout was crazy until I met Akira, and I'm like, wow, this dog has so much energy. So yeah, I've got that going on this week. I'm still seeing my therapist as well this week. I have my nail appointment this week. This week is just nuts. When I was filling out my planner, basically I was just sitting there like, it's too busy. Like, way too busy. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs. They're playing in the background in my studio. Hey! Hey! So yeah, if you hear noises, that's dogs not caring that I'm recording. I'm about to kick them out if they don't stop though. So yeah, just a busy week personally. I didn't stream on Sunday because I knew this week was going to be crazy, and I just needed that day. I'm going to have to pause and get these dogs out. Okay, gosh, now I can sort of keep my train of thought. That's so distracting with them in the background. So yeah, I just needed that extra day, and honestly, I just sat, watched my show, and zoned out and did mandalas. I did like 7 mandalas on Sunday. I was just like, ah. So it was just one of those days for sure. But yeah, so that's why I didn't stream this week. But this week, for videos. Okay, so I've been working, or I will be working on a few things. I'm going to be working on like my Prismacolor series still. Color It sent me gel pens and pencils. Yes, Color It makes pencils. They had actually started this just before COVID, and COVID kind of messed up their production. So they have them, and they will actually be coming out on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So they sent me some pencils to play around with. So you will see that. So keep an eye out for that video. I'm going to release it the day they release on Amazon, so the 14th. But I have like a ton of stuff to swatch, like watercolor pencil wise. And like I had said, I'd probably do it on camera just so that I don't know, you guys could keep me company, because I can get boring. I like swatching, but the amount I have to swatch is just like it's overwhelming me, and I'm like, I love swatching, but even I'm like, I can't do it. This doesn't, oh, it's Old Pink. So on the pencil it says Rose Pink, but it used to be called Old Pink. I was like, why is this number not working out? Interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that this Sunday, but this Sunday I'll also have to drive my son to his dad's, and so I'm just like, gosh, do I have time to stream that day? It's just crazy to think about, like, how little time we have, you know, to get like what we want to get done. Trying to find this mauve color. Are you mauve? There you are. So yeah, I may stream this Sunday, and if I do, it'll just be swatching watercolor pencils, I would say. I just don't want to promise that there will be a stream because it's been so busy. And like I said, I have to drive my son to his dad's that day, and it's just hard to go from like streaming for a few hours to just sitting in the car for 2 hours. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I've got all those watercolor pencils. This week I am gonna swatch my Schmincke watercolors. I haven't even swatched those yet because I have just been so overwhelmed with just everyday tasks that I haven't even swatched my Schmincke. And it's actually quite bumming because I'm so excited, and they're the most expensive paints I have ever purchased, and I'm like, I can't even play with them. So yeah, I want to do that this week. I want to do it on camera. That's why I haven't swatched them. Like if it wasn't on camera, those bad boys would have been done because they're just calling my name. They're sitting there, Corey, play with us. So yeah, I'm like, I want to do this. So I have those, and then I found some really cute handmade watercolor places on Etsy. So there's the ones that a lot of us know about, you know, like KJ Designs, or whatever it's called, and Art Spirits and all those. Like we all know about those, but I've been looking for like those small, obscure ones, and I found one. First of all, it's perfect because it's in Idaho, so it's literally north of me. She's really nice, but her paints are so cool. So she has these sets that come out. The release dates and the theme name is on her Etsy store. And then she basically just sells the set until it's gone. But so that means like you won't be able to get it again. She told me she does bring them back though, eventually, you know, like the ones that were really popular. But she creates a huge batch of them and sells them, and they're really cute. So I ordered one to try out, and then she had come out with like her other batch, her February batch. So I ordered those. So yeah, I'll be swatching those on camera as well. And then there's another gal in like Ohio or something. Hers are coming today. So like the next set from the gal in Idaho is coming today also. Because originally I was like, yeah, today I will film all my watercolor swatches. But then I was like, well, all those paints are coming later today with the mail. So I just want to wait till I have all the paints so I can just do all the swatching videos at once. Because watercolor, like you have to get set up for it, you know. I've got to get all my stuff out and get into watercolor mode. And I'd rather swatch all watercolors at once rather than sit there and do them as each one comes in. So yeah, once they get in, I'll film it. So I'll be filming that this week. I wanted to do the studio tour this week, but I ordered a thing for my Copics. It's like one of these big wooden sorters. It can hold like 1,200 chows. So it's for my Copics, Ohuhu, Blick, and Arteza. It's all my alcohol markers are going to go in there because they're taking up too much of this cabinet space in the cases and boxes that they're in. And I want to free those up for other stuff. So I still have some organizing, so I won't be filming it this week like I had hoped, because they're not even shipping this wooden thing until this week, I guess. He sent me a message, and I was like, oh, wish you would ship it the day I ordered it, but oh well. Get over it. But yeah, so I just gotta wait on that to arrive, and then I'll be able to quickly organize everything because everything's ready to go where it needs to go. I just need that one stupid thing. And then I can do a tour. So, yep, just gotta be patient. Trust me, I have to be patient too because I'm waiting for all these goodies to show up so I can finish it and show it to you guys. Because I'm keeping it all nice and clean, but let's face it, normally it's a big flippin' mess. Not really. I try to keep my space always clean. I can't work in clutter. But what I mean by that is my desk usually has like all my projects on it, and I want it all cleaned off for the tour. And then like I'll have just WIPs kind of here and there, you know, like I'll have a pile that's like literally just waiting for a background, so it's set off to the side, or a pile of stuff I need to review or unbox that week or whatever. And all that I've been putting neatly away, but the problem is by putting it away, it's not there to constantly nag me that I need to film it. So I too want to film the tour so that I can put all that stuff back out. And yeah, then it can just sit there and remind me obnoxiously. But I was working on a full-length color along in Serenity, and it's been taking quite a while. In fact, let me grab the page. I could have, oh, I'm shedding hair. Let me get the page. So I could have totally just done this for WIP Wednesday, worked on this, but I think I showed this last WIP Wednesday too, because this has taken me a little while. So this had started with the skin, and then I was going to do the whole thing on camera as a color along. And then I kind of realized, you know, most people don't have Serenity. It's not a book you can just order off Amazon. Instead, you either order it from the artist directly or Etsy, just depending on what you're doing. A lot of mine I got from Etsy for her, just because at the time I had other books I wanted to get from other artists, so I used those Etsy stores instead. But yeah, they're not cheap. So instead, I need to edit the footage, and I'll just do the tutorial on skin, and that's it. So that'll be coming out soon when I have the brain capacity to sit down and edit out and just turn it into a skin tutorial. That's my problem. I can sit down and film most of the time. I don't want to say all the time, because there's days I'm like, oh, I just don't want to. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. And you know my motto, if I don't want to do it, I don't do it. But editing is where I always get held up, because I'm like, yeah, I want to film this video. I film it. I'm so happy. But then I'm like, oh, I don't want to edit. Just don't. I've been so tempted so many times to just upload it like right off my phone. No thumbnail, no intro, just call it a day. But yeah, I don't, because it's just not as cute looking that way. But it's tempting sometimes, you know, especially when that's like the one holdup to getting your content out. You're like, I just don't want to edit right now. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't want to. It's like a toddler kicking and screaming. Sorry, I gotta sharpen these just because I want a little bit defined points. No, you don't have to sharpen watercolor pencils. But yeah. So also, I'm really trying to post on Instagram more, whether it be a story or a finished page. Because I did my finished pages video, last week? I don't remember anymore. It all blurs together. But sometime this month, I had posted a finished pages video. And I realized I think I shared like not even a quarter of those on Instagram. And I want to share things on Instagram, you know, get more active on there. I have my tags, and I fall behind, you know, sharing and kind of commenting on those who've tagged me. And that's why I didn't host a ton of tags this month. I just have my G one. G is for February. And look, I'm not even using something that starts with G. I'll do gelatos in the background. Okay. We're covered. But yeah, I do want to do more Instagram, so I've been really working on that. It's just, you know, it can be hard sometimes to get on there and post things and then remember to comment back. That's where I get sometimes really lost. I'm like, I'll slap it up there, but totally forget to like say thank you to all the sweet comments, and then I feel guilty. But yeah, it is a lot to keep up with all that stuff, and oh, man, it's just but I'm gonna try hard. It's actually one of my 2022 like goals, so all year long I'm gonna try my best. And try my best is the key word, like, because you know life happens, and I can't can't always guarantee that I'll be able to do it, and I have to personally accept that that's okay as well. Like, you know, if I can't post everything to Instagram, I can't. I also want to use my community tab more to post finished pages, because not all of you are on Instagram, or follow me on Instagram, you know, because I only have like, I think I'm close to 2,000 on Instagram, but I have almost 7,000 subscribers here, so rather big diff. So I want to share them on my community tab more too, just for those who don't have Instagram or Facebook. You guys can see them. I need a drink of water. Oh, there we go. So yeah, that is a plan. We'll see how it goes. I think these are different flowers. At first I thought maybe these were those, but they're not. I took one of the colors that I used down here and I brought it up into the flowers just for balance, but I am gonna have to put some sort of dark purple up here somewhere, maybe in the bird, just so it's not so dark heavy down here. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, so let's see what else. Brain not working today. It took a lot to motivate myself to sit down and do a WIP Wednesday. Not because I didn't want to, it's just my brain was not turning on. I was like, I don't know. Don't know what to talk about. Yeah. I have just brain fog. And I guess it's just one of those weeks. I think it's because I'm so mentally overwhelmed knowing what I have to do this week that I'm just like already checked out. It's a big problem of mine. That's one thing I'm working on in therapy, is checking out. I check out. It gets and it's by no means healthy, but it's like my coping mechanism. And by check out, I mean I don't do anything. I just sit on my bed and I color. Sunday I pretty much checked out. I just sat on my bed and colored 7 mandalas like a robot. And that's kind of an example. Like I don't do anything. Like I'm just glued there coloring, and that's how my brain deals with stress right now. And normally I feel really guilty about it because I don't do anything. I literally don't hang out with my kids. You know, I just veg out, and then I get all upset and feel guilty. And one thing my therapist says, well, right now, that's your internal coping mechanism. That's like your only coping mechanism you've got right now. And she's like, so right now you have to just accept that that is you doing your best. Basically, she wants me to quit feeling guilty and just remind myself I am doing the best I can right now, and that's the best I can do. Like what I'm doing is the best I can do right now, and that's okay. So it's really weird. Like I've got therapy homework, and you know, I got to write down my thoughts so that we can explore them in therapy. And then yeah, like just constantly remind myself, instead of feeling all guilty and then stressing that I'm all guilty feeling, just have to remind myself that I am doing the best I can right now. So that is something I like tell myself throughout the day. Like if I just have to take a break, and I just say that this is the best I can do right now, and that's okay. Like, just, yeah. It's harder than it sounds, though. It really is, because like as you're sitting there, you're just like, oh, I'm such a waste of space. I sat here all day Sunday and just colored a bunch of mandalas. I didn't do anything with my kids. Not that they were even here. One was at grandma's. One was at, you know, friend's house. One was at his dad's, but still, you get the point. Mom guilt. So it's just one of those things, but definitely have to work on that. It has been so flippin' cold out here as well, but we have like no snow. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's like I want it to just snow or something, because it's just so frigid. Like you walk out there and it hurts. Like your whole body just gets stung. And for me, I'm just like, okay, can we at least have snow? So like it justifies the fact that I'm wearing snow boots and thick pants and jacket and gloves and beanie, other than it just being frigid cold. Like, you know, at least then I have snow. At least that's how I feel. Is that crazy? I don't know. It's definitely something I've noticed myself, like when I walk outside to wait for my daughter's bus, which never comes at the same time. So I'm always like, can you guys get a little more accurate? Like, because I'll be sometimes waiting out there for like 20 minutes and it's freezing. Like, we're not even supposed to break 20 for the high today. And I'm just like, can we at least have some snow to go with it? Give me something. But the Huskies are in heaven. Even Akira now, because she's starting to get her big girl coat, as we'll call it. She goes out there and lays on the couch like Scout on the deck, and just sits there in the cold. And I have to fight both of those little stinkers now to come inside for the night. I was like, you turds. But they love it. They really like the cold. So it's just funny because they'll just be out there in heaven taking naps on the couch, and I'm sitting there shivering and like chilled to the bone. And they're just like, oh, this is great. Let's just take a nap. I'm so relaxed right now. Like, what would that be like as a human, you know? Just lay in a pile of snow and be like, oh, this is great. I would do that in the summer, but that's because it's like 105 here sometimes. And I'm like, yeah. But obviously there wouldn't be snow on the ground, so yeah, it's just unreasonably cold, and I'm actually kind of worried that we don't have a lot of snow because I really don't want another drought this year. I just installed that sod. I need to be able to water it. But luckily it rooted, you know, before it went dormant. So that way if there is a drought and we can only water a couple days a week, or, you know, here and there, it's fine. Like it won't be destroyed. That's why it was great that we waited, but still, and no, I'm not insensitive to the drought issue and more worried about my lawn than the drought. I hope no one takes it that way. A drought is absolutely scary and devastating because, I mean, it's water. The world needs water. But yeah, at the same time, a girl wants her lawn to survive. Contradicting, I know. But I do care on both fronts. But yeah, I guess we're getting a ton in the mountains, because the mountains are covered in snow. And supposedly they're doing pretty good on our snowpack, is what they call it. Basically just the mound of snow sitting up there that will, you know, melt and feed all the reservoirs and stuff. And supposedly it's getting back up there, rebuilding. And I'm like, well, so weird because it's always sunny and cold down here. So I'm like, are they just getting storms in the mountains? Like, figured we would at least get rain down here, so we felt something. I just don't understand where all the snow is coming from, because we don't get anything down here. Just cold. It's icy in the morning because it's so cold. And yeah. But the other thing I want to try and work on this week, not on camera, this is just private. So I pay for Kit and Clouder. That's not one that you can say 5 times fast, or at least I can't. Kit and Clouder classes. I pay for the marker and pencil one. And yeah, I have a YouTube, but I also take classes because we always can improve. Even if my skills were freaky stellar, they're not, by the way. But like, say I just did like I was just amazing, I would still take classes because there's always something to learn and grow, like a new technique or something. So I take Kit and Clouder, and I have fallen behind. Like, I haven't done anything since October. So I'm going to try and catch up on some of those pages, especially the marker ones, because I really want to learn markers. And I mean, the Kit and Clouder classes are amazing, what they do with the markers. Holy cow, she's amazing. She does have like some freebies on her YouTube, but for the most part, you got to pay for the monthly fee, and you can either just do pencils or just do markers, or you can do both. And I do both, pay for both, so I need to do them. So it's something I want to work on this week while I'm relaxing. Just try and improve my skills, even with the Prismas. You know, there's always something to learn is basically where I'm getting. And in fact, one of my goals for 2022 is to do more color alongs, not on my color alongs, but follow other people's color alongs. Take another drink of water. My throat is so dry today. But yeah, more color alongs. I just want to follow to learn, you know, different techniques, learn how to use certain pencils. That's how I learned a lot of Prismacolor when I first started coloring, gosh, almost 6 years ago. But I did a lot of color alongs and just followed someone and then started to get the hang of it and create my own style from there. But I want to still do those and tutorials and whatnot because just kind of personal growth goals, I guess you could say. Yeah, there's just always something to learn, and there's so many people who are talented out there in the color tube world at certain things, you know. Like there's some people that just are amazing at backgrounds. Like that is like, you know, they're gonna make a killer background no matter what picture they're doing. It's gonna be like, holy moly. So I want to start, you know, like doing some of their backgrounds and whatnot. So that's one of my things I want to try. But or there's people really, really good at skin, and I'm gonna just kind of follow along, color a page with them, and see what I do. But yeah, it's one of the things I want to try and work on this week and this month in general. But they won't be on camera. I'll show them in like my completed pages, but I'm not gonna like redo someone's tutorial on camera. Like that's not really nice to do, for one, because it's their video, but two, it's not really something I need to reproduce. Like, I'll just show you the end result. And just kind of see where it goes from there. But plus it's kind of relaxing sometimes. It takes away the guesswork and hassle of like picking colors, picking a page. Like you just randomly go to a channel's color along and you're like, okay, I gotta work on this book and pull out these pencils and these colors and ta-da. Like you don't have to like prep anything. They've done all the work. They've made the cute color palette and everything. Or they flew by the seat of their pants, but the color palette worked out. I don't know. I don't know what their game plan is. I never really pre-pick colors unless I'm streaming, and that's just because otherwise I'll get distracted. Like right now, I have no pre-picked palette for this page. I'm just like, hey, you know what? That peach and pink look kind of cute together. I'm just going to put that on the paper and call it a day. So it's usually how I roll. Did I activate that one? I feel like I did. I think I did. But yeah, so I guess to sum it up, this week is going to be busy with dogs, kids, myself, excuse me. You know, like we always have meetings on Fridays at work, 2 meetings. Oh, it's so rough though. I was thinking of talking to my bosses about that because I've noticed like it does make Friday go by faster, which is always lovely, but it's just like a ton of chaos for the end of the week, you know? It's just like I have one meeting at like 10 and then another meeting at 1. Each one's like, the 10 o'clock one's always an hour. The other one's varies, but it's just like, oh, it's so much, so many meetings. And let's see, this Friday on top of it, I have my nail appointment. Something else Friday. Oh, well, besides my son's sparring, but yeah, just basically I got lots to do. I'm sitting here like, I don't know how I'm gonna do all that. Got meetings and then I'm gonna like just bounce around. So hopefully, kind of on the fence. You know, I always color leaves, well, green. But I'm almost wondering if I should just do this whole page like purple, pink, and whatnot. I don't know though. Green would look really pretty in there too. So I'll work on these little raspberries and do like a pinky red just in case. But Carmine Lake, 080. Hey, raspberry red. Let's use that because we're coloring raspberries. It's raspberry red and actually let's do dark carmine. So that's what, the 5th one is? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to sharpen that one though because that's a tiny little space. Okay. Hopefully these don't come out too red. I might be able to get away with just one color instead of mixing two. Just drag that one color and create a gradient on that. Yeah, so I am still working on the watercolor pencil battle. Don't worry. I'll still color some pages here and there. I just don't know if I'm going to do the full length color alongs. Yeah, the time investment and then just losing that footage has kind of turned me off from the idea for a little while at least. I'm just like, I'm really cranky about that one. But there's nothing worse than like spending all your personal time there and then going to edit, which like I said, I'm not a fan of editing anyway, so I was already like crabby that I had to edit, and then the footage was gone to boot, so I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So it just kind of created a whole mess of crankies for me. Yes, I get cranky. I'm human. I mean, what adult doesn't get cranky? Let's just be honest here with one another. Sometimes I think I throw more tantrums than my kids. I don't like the way that looks. Let's add a little bit. This raspberry. Yeah, in fact, I think I should have just shaded these as a whole instead of each berry. I think that's where I went wrong. I'm just kind of pulling it off the tip at this point. Oops. Yeah, I definitely don't like the way that looks. I'm gonna have to add some white in there and lighten it up. So, oh, and I don't have my normal eraser, so I'm gonna have to use my crappy one. But it should still erase just fine. Watercolor pencils erase, it's just once they're activated, not so much. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're using them. Like, you know, if you put down the color and you don't like it, you can always lift it back up. But once you activate them, not as much. And you can reactivate watercolor pencils, but not the same. Like, they're not going to lift off the page. Like, you can't just clean it off like you would watercolor paper, where you could take like a paper towel and literally like dot it right off. That watercolor pencils don't do that because you are literally applying the pigment to the paper and activating it on the paper, so it does leave it there no matter what. But you can go back over it with a wet brush, reactivate it a little. These don't reactivate as well as, you know, your pan and tube watercolors, so that's just always something to keep in mind. I kind of like those reds in there. Then the little berry piles pop, kind of. I don't know why I called them a pile. But yeah, so I did watch some ColorTube this weekend. I've been trying to catch up. I really enjoy watching everyone's videos. Like, I usually will, you know, click save to watch later, and then I watch them. But right now I've got like a save to watch later list of like 250 videos because I've been falling behind, if we'll call it that. But yeah, I really enjoy watching other people's videos. Just kind of fully immerses you in like the coloring and art communities. Excuse me. So I know, let's see, I think Hanna Karlzon's book comes out in March, her next one. If you're impatient, you can get it on Book Depository, because I don't know when it will come to Amazon US. I don't even think her Tales from the Witch's Cottage has hit Amazon US. Has it? Correct me if I'm wrong. The purple one. Because I can't say the name of it. Hexenstuga, is that it? But I don't even think the English version has come out yet on Amazon US for that one. But yeah, I know the other one will be on Book Depository. Excuse me. Or if you're in the UK, you can buy it from the site that she always talks about on her Instagram, Bookus or something. But yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that on Book Depository and see. The only bummer about Book Depository is it's like hit or miss because they tend to oversell books a lot. Like, so with her last book release, they oversold the book, and so a lot of people never even got theirs and instead just got like an email later that it was canceled, and they're like, wait, why is my order canceled? So I kind of fear that's going to happen this time, especially because so many people want to get the new one, you know, in support of her and type of stuff. And so I kind of worry like that new one, Book Depository, is really going to be a pain this time around. And then it takes like forever to get here, but hopefully they don't oversell it this time and just like rando cancel people's orders, because I've had that happen with a different book, different author. And I was so flustered, so I know how frustrating it can be, because you're like, what the heck? I placed the order, give me my book. But yeah, but it is what it is, because I think it takes almost a year to get those on Amazon US. So, and I don't know how much Hanna Karlzon I'm gonna color this month. I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing one buddy color right now in Hanna Karlzon, and then I'm working on this one. And originally I had started this one on camera, and I was going to do a whole color long, but then I was just like I said, after my experience with that last one, a little bitter. So I was like, never mind. So I just have these 2 pages, but like I have to be in the mood to color certain artists, and Hanna Karlzon's one of them. I love her work, so don't get me wrong there. Absolutely adore her work. I think I'm gonna get some dark purple up here, but I have to be in the mood, you know. It's kind of like Kirby Roseanne's. Like, you really got to be in the mood to do that one for me. You know, there's other people that just absolutely love Kirby and they like dive right in, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how are you able to just tackle a Kirby page with such excitement? Like, tell me the secret, seriously, because I own a ton of Kirby books and I'd like to be able to tackle Kirby with that much gusto. Like, if you tell me to do a Kirby page right now, I start hyperventilating. Just a tiny point on these so I can get in there. Yeah, like my friend Debbie, Color Me Stress Free, is doing Kirby all month. Don't worry, I already told her she was crazy. And if you're watching this, Debbie, you know it. I told you, you crazy. But I told her I would try and color 1 page. And I will. I'll color 1 page. But even the thought of it right now, I'm like, what am I going to do? Can I do this? I don't think I can. So it's going to be something easy, that's for sure. Because, yeah. But that's the same thing with, like, Hanna Karlzon, you know. I love her work, but I just gotta be in the mood. And right now I'm really in the portrait mood. I just want to color portraits. Portraits, all the time. Every day. Just give me the portraits, all of them. That's where I'm at right now. So anything that's not a portrait, I'm just like, ugh. Fine. So it's hard to do, like, the Hanna pages this month. Even her portraits, because they're not the type of portrait. Oh, I can hear Scout whining downstairs. That dog is killing me. First she wants in, then she wants out, then she wants in, then she wants out. It's like, yeah, so I'll see how many I actually do. Who knows? The month is young, but it's not a very long month. Who knows? Maybe next week I'll, like, be more ready for some Hanna. I don't know. If not, at least I'll have 2, hopefully. I'm going to really try to finish this one and not let it be a WIP. And then all I have left on the other one that I'm doing as a buddy color actually as a background, but you guys know how I hate backgrounds, so it's kind of sitting there just while I stew on that. So, but I think Scout is going to make this end early because she's throwing a hissy downstairs. She wants out. I need to invest in a doggy door, is basically what the world is telling me, but I think we'll call this a day for now. Thanks for hanging out with me for another WIP Wednesday. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and until next time, take care. Bye now.